Welcome back to the channel. So this is another video I thought people might be interested in, and I do realise this is like a property maintenance channel, but as most people who own vans or cars, there are certain things that DIYers probably attempt on their own cars. Now these days cars are run by computers, as most vehicles are these days, which require being plugged in. On this van, the OBD port's down here in a little compartment there, but we're not going to be touching on that today. What we are touching on is a warning light that's just appeared on the dashboard on this particular van, which is a Ford Transit Connect 2011. So it's basically engine reversing lights. It's telling me hill start's not available, and you may have heard that beep there, which is ESP malfunction. And we have the fishtailing light card. I'll show you this in a minute, and it says please check owner's guide. Now this could be a number of things that's wrong, so what I'll do now is I'll grab the camera and just show you the light. Right. Turn my light. Please check owner's guide, ESP malfunction, and we have the typical fishtailing car symbol, and what that means is that the traction control isn't working. Also the hill start won't work, and I think it affects the ABS system when this comes on. Now this could be a number of things, like I've said. You do have a excuse this here. We were going to fit this into here, but we haven't got round to it. There is a sensor down here, which is the yaw sensor, and that's basically monitoring if you are skidding around on the road, i.e. on ice. It could be that, but it's possibly not that. That's probably the last place you need to look. Also under the engine you've got the throttle control, which is just under the bonnet there, but you've also got wheel sensors on all four wheel sensors, so that is more than likely what it's going to be. So we're going to jack it up, we're going to get to the sensors and clean the sensors out. There could be some rust or muck in the sensor, which is causing it to malfunction. Chances are if I plug this in to the OBD socket, which is down here underneath here, if we pull that off there, there's an OBD socket there, and plugging to the OBD socket, it probably won't tell us anything on the equipment that I've got, as this has happened to me before, not many weeks ago. I managed to get rid of it just by cleaning sensors, but if you watch my previous video, I've been doing things on one of the wheels, so I suspect that there's some muck falling down and it's affecting the sensor. Now the sensor works by picking up a magnetic ring which is on the wheel bearing. So on some cars they have like a ring, not like that on my finger, but it's a ring that has, it looks like a cog, and it fits on to the hub of the wheel, and because it's got that serrated edge going round all the way around, the sensor picks up the variations in depth, and it will tell the computer on board that there's something wrong. If that sensor's not picking up correctly, this light will come on your dashboard. But on these Ford Transit Connects, on the front wheels, it is a wheel bearing magnet that is on the wheel bearing, which will send the signal to the computer that will give the information to the computer to tell if it's working or not. But this has obviously come up to tell me that it's not working, so we're going to jack it up now and we're going to clean this sensor and see whether it resolves the problem. Oh, and I forgot to mention there's also a sensor behind the steering wheel here. You have to remove all that, which is for the steering wheel. Obviously it gives it a position, you can calibrate it, and we're not going to get into that because it means removing the steering wheel and everything, and we don't need to be doing that today. I definitely think it's something to do with the sensor. See, it's gone off a minute now. But if I start the engine, it's still there. I've just pressed the trip button here, which has just reset it there, but as you can see, the light's still on and the thingy light there as well. Also the battery lights come on for some reason. It does do that on this van. Oh, it's gone off now. It does do that sometimes, stays on for a while and then it goes off. So yeah, we're going to get this sorted out now and hopefully resolve the issue. So this wire here is the sensor and it clips in just above here, where your coil spring is. It should be clipped to the bodywork somewhere, so this, if you are replacing it, you need to trace it back to the plug, and obviously get to it round about here. So just down here, and just going to shed a bit of light onto it. If we can get some light onto the subject. There we go. Now this should be an 8mm. Now, to get this out, you might require some pliers or a screwdriver. Now, I think I've had this one out previously. They just need a little bit of help sometimes to come out. So you have to try and prise it out best you can. You might have to just wiggle it a bit. It is moving slightly. There, it's moved. So you're going to try and... So as you can see, what I've done here, use some long-nosed clamps. These are mini clamps, by the way, nothing special. I used to get them on, and this gives me a good grip just to pull the sensor out. There you see, it has got a little bit of muck on it, but it looks in quite good condition. So what we'll do is we'll squirt WD down into the hole, give it a whirl, basically making sure it's a clean surface. Put a wipe down there, and now I'm going to whiz it round again. Get some of the crap out of it, and then just going to replace the sensor like that. tap it down and screw it back in. So hopefully this will resolve the problem, but you can do this on all other four wheels. All four of them have a sensor on. As you can imagine, it's there for your braking system. So what we'll do is we'll put this back on now, the wheel and everything. It's good, probably best to take your vehicle for a run, and it should come off. So just for reference, the rear sensor is coming down from here, and again it's clipped up behind there, comes down here, has a little bracket there and goes into the back of the hub there. So again, these are slightly easier to remove, so we're going to remove this one and clean it out. Find somewhere for the torch to sit. Yeah, same sort of. You can just pull it out with your fingers. Again, a little bit of muck on it. Give it a bit of a squirt. There you have it. So that's basically where the sensors are. So obviously if you're doing all four, it's just the same process on the opposite side of the vehicle, or in this case a van. The rear ones are easier to do, I would say, because there's no knuckle in the way. You can just get to the back of it there, and that's basically all I do, is I clean them out best you can, and then hopefully it'll pick up on the sensor then. So what I've done is done all four of the wheels. I did the first two. The light still came on the dash. I took it for a run, didn't come off. So I've done the other two as well. A little bit of rust in some of them. As you can imagine, this is an old van and they are going to get cruded up, but I put plenty of DW40 down into the holes. Hopefully this will loosen all the crap up. Other thing is to strip the whole thing completely back, but as a result I took it for another run and the light came off. So I'm just going to demonstrate that now by switching my ignition on, and as you can see the lights come on and they go straight off again. So start her up. There we go. The ESP light comes off and the fishtailing light comes off. Battery light still stays on for a bit. That'll go off in a minute. Don't know why that's doing that. I'm not really concerned about that. It's been doing it for a while, and the alternator's putting charge into the battery. The battery's fine, it's brand new, which if you've seen my other video on the RAC, you'll know how much I paid for that battery. So yeah, that battery light's still staying on, so I'm assuming it's got something to do with the wiring feed from the alternator to wherever that goes. I don't think it's out serious. It only seems to do it when it's been raining as well, so I should imagine it's got something to do with damp conditions. But that being said, it is done. The problem's been fixed. I'm not having any issues with the ESP light now. So guys, I hope you found the video informative. This is a Ford Transit Connect 2011, as I mentioned earlier in the video. However, you could have a similar sort of fault on any car. ESP, it stands for electronic stability program, or in other words your traction control. Now you wouldn't have expected traction control on a van of this age, but it does actually have traction control, and what that affects is your braking system, your ABS system, and all that does is it delivers power to the front wheels to adjust your driving in bad conditions, i.e. snow and ice, etc. So that's what the stability control does in your van. You have various sensors that help it decide how much power to deliver to the wheels, one of which is your braking sensors. So all I've done is clean the sensors up on all 4 of the wheels, and the ESP malfunction light came off after a bit of a drive as well. Put the key in ignition again, and it's been fine since. So there you go, simple little job you could do yourself on your drive with some simple tools. So all you need to do is get yourself a nice fine day, or even work in your garage if your garage is big enough, and crack on with it, and you should find you'll probably eliminate your sensors at least. The other thing it could be is the actual ABS sensors on the hubs, i.e. the magnetic sensors, or them cog type ones that have the little teeth on as they're going round. That could be an issue. So especially them cog ones, they're made out of steel and they tend to rust and corrode, and they can disintegrate inside the actual hub, or where they are on the prop shaft and the axles. So what they do is help the sensors pick up what the wheels are doing, and if they've gone rusty and corroded, they won't work properly. So all that rust builds up as well on the sensor, so it might be an idea to change the sensor if that is the problem as well. However, the sensors are very inexpensive, maybe £10–15, I don't know, I haven't bought one recently, but they are easy enough to change. However, in this case, it just meant cleaning them up. So that's all we've done today. So I hope you found something interesting in this video and informative. I hope it helps somebody today, and thanks for watching, and don't forget to like the video, and don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in another video soon. Thanks for watching.